Like, I hate to say it, this is much harder
You know what I think? I've never seen a luckier person than Donald Trump. Just as we're this close to getting him, but somehow these documents appear.
But here's the thing.
The walls, the walls, the walls, the walls, the walls, 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 and the walls, the walls, the walls, the walls, walls are closing in, closing in, closing in, closing in on, closing in. The walls
are closing in on President Donald Trump.
He's not looking forward to any of it. He's horrified. He's just talking big. The walls are closing in, as has been said before.
On today's episode of Freedom Files, we're diving into the chaos that just unfolded on live television. And yes, it involves Joy Behar from The View completely losing her mind over the recent Biden report. You know it's always entertaining when The View turns into a meltdown session, but this one was on another level. Joy, who has spent years defending Joe Biden no matter what, finally couldn't hold it together. The report that came out on Biden's performance, his leadership, and the cracks beginning to show in his presidency set her off, and she lashed out in a way that even left her co-hosts looking stunned. Now, if you've ever watched The View, you already know it's basically a political pep rally for Democrats. But what happened here went way beyond their usual cheerleading. Joy was visibly angry, raising her voice, cutting off anyone who tried to disagree, and practically shouting into the camera about how unfair she thought the coverage of Biden was.
Let's find out what this is first. Now, again, one of the things that gets me crazy is before we know, it's already been spun a specific way. I don't want to see that. Because to me, if you're missing classified information, I don't mean to laugh, but in my house, if stuff is missing, I know it's missing.
Does it feel like Oppo research to you? Does it feel like the Republicans are behind it?
How that could possibly happen. How anyone could be that irresponsible. And I thought, what data was in there that may compromise sources and methods? And it's just totally irresponsible.
She wanted everyone to believe this report was nothing more than a smear campaign. But here's the truth. When you strip away the excuses, the facts in that report are very real, and that's why she was panicking. What makes this even more fascinating is how the rest of the panel reacted. Sunny Hostin tried to calm Joy down. Whoopi looked like she wanted to wrap the segment and move on, and Alyssa Farah Griffin actually pushed back with some valid points that made Joy even more furious. It was television gold, because you could see the split happening right on that panel. Not everyone was willing to go down with the sinking ship, but Joy was clinging to Biden like her career depended on it. This is the problem when a show like The View spends years pushing one narrative. The moment reality catches up to them, they don't know how to handle it. They freak out, they deflect, they blame everyone else instead of admitting the truth. And that's exactly what Joy Behar did. She snapped, because deep down she knows Biden's image is collapsing. No matter how much spin the mainstream media tries to put on it, Americans are waking up, they're seeing the failures, and they're tired of being gaslit. But here's the best part. The meltdown backfired. Instead of defending Biden, Joy made it painfully obvious that the Democrats are desperate. When you can't even have a rational conversation about a president's record without screaming, it tells the audience you have no argument left. And viewers at home aren't dumb, they see through it. The angrier Joy gets, the more people realize just how weak the defense of Biden has become. And let's be real, if this report had been about Trump, Joy would have been celebrating it as gospel truth. She would have been waving the paper in the air like a victory flag. But because it's about Biden, suddenly she thinks reports don't matter, investigations don't matter, and everyone should just move on. It's that double standard that has people tuning out of mainstream media and finding their way to independent voices, voices that aren't afraid to call it like it is. Friends, this is why we bring you stories like this on Freedom Files. We cut through the noise, we show you what really happened, and we expose the hypocrisy that the corporate media tries to hide. Joy Behar may have lost her cool, but she also exposed the fear running through the Democratic Party right now. They know 2024 isn't going the way they hoped, and the cracks are too big to paper over anymore. So the next time you hear Joy screaming on The View, just remember, it's not strength, it's not conviction, it's desperation. They're losing control of the narrative, and the louder they yell, the clearer it becomes. If you're tired of being lied to, tired of being manipulated, and tired of watching TV hosts melt down instead of telling the truth, then you are in the right place. That's why you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Join the Freedom Files family, where we give you the facts, the context, and the bold commentary that the mainstream will never dare to say. Don't just watch. Be part of a movement that pushes back against the noise and demands honesty. So smash that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and stay with us as we continue to break down the stories the mainstream wants to spin. Because trust me, if Joy Behar is losing her mind over this, you can only imagine what's coming next.